So what does the process look like? For our air scrubbers, this is both porkers, polo and manure treatment air scrubbers, we always have the same setup. It's a horizontal filter package, as you can see on the left side. The air moves from below vertically up, and the air of the water goes down in a counter current process. And that gives the best contact time between the air and the water. It's also easier and more regular water distribution for the highest results. And it keeps the package cleaner in this way. What you can see on the right side is a simple PNID, so to say. The exhaust air comes into the air scrubber from the right below the package. It moves up. On top of the package there are sprinklers. The water goes down, and in the counter current process it has a long contact time with the air. Then on top you see the droplet separator or drip catcher. The air moves through it. Some of the water is removed there, and also a lot of the salt and maybe the acids which are contained in aerosols are retained to make sure that they stay inside the scrubber. So what happens, there is a pump that is continuously pumping the water around. When it goes down, it gets pumped up again through the sprinklers and so on. There are measurements for pH and conductivity, what you can see here in the middle. So the pH is continually measured, and either with sulfuric acid or the caustic soda lye, it's kept at the set point. And the other measurement that's done is the conductivity. And the conductivity is a measurement for electrical charges in the water. And because the salt has positive and negative ions, part of the molecules, that means we can measure the salt concentration or the nitrogen concentration in the water. When this reaches a certain set point, part of the water is automatically drained off to a silo or a tank, and fresh water is added to the desired level, and the process continually keeps on running. So even with the draining of the water to the sprinkler is shut down a little bit, but never stopped. So the process keeps on going even if the water is being drained. So what does the technology look like? This is a skid, but the technology we use is the same everywhere, whether it's a module or a built-in, whether it's a biological, chemical, or for manure treatment, doesn't matter. The technology is basically always the same. So we have a controller, of course, that regulates the process in the middle. And then from the lower bottom on the left side, the water is sucked up from the pit. It goes through a filter, which keeps out the bigger parts to protect the pump, to make sure the sprinklers stay open, and also to protect all the sensors and meters that are in there. Then the pump on the lower right side pumps the water over the package with this vertical pipe going up. Conductivity and pH sensors in the middle are continually measured, and either acid or caustic soda is added to make sure the pH stays stable, and the conductivity measurement is done to make sure that the water is drained off at a certain set point. When this happens, there is a little valve here just above the pump that goes open. This is the drain line to the silo, and on the spray pipe here next to the controller we have the bigger valve, which closes a little bit to make sure we have pressure on the line to the silo. So when it's drained off after the cycle is done, the little valve closes again and the big valve opens up fully again, and the process keeps on running. So what does that look like actually? This is for a biological process, but chemical is exactly the same. We have the pH level, which is the orange line. It is kept stable at around 6.5 to 7, as you can see. We have the green line, which is the conductivity or the nitrogen content of the water. Because the ammonia dissolves, it is processed into nitrate. This continues to go up until a certain set point. The water is drained off, fresh water is added. That means the concentration will be lower, as you can see here in the dip. And then the process just keeps on going and the conductivity rises. So it goes on and on. So at the set point, water is drained off, fresh water is added, the concentration goes down, and the process can keep continuing. So the technology is, as we say, it's plug and play. So all technical parts are mounted and tested by us in the factory to make on-site installation as quick and easy as possible. As I said before, the basic setup is always the same. So there's no real difference between biological or chemical, or a module or a built-in, or even a manure air scrubber. The technology is always the same. Small differences. Chemical uses an acid pump and an anti-foaming pump, and the biological one has no anti-foaming pump but a caustic soda pump. That's basically the only difference there. Further, it's just about set points. All technology is the same. And the process is fully automatic, as already explained. So what we have is a standard product. High quality, it's simple, and it's proven air scrubbers. They've been tested and certified in Europe. Many of them have. We have over 1,000 installations running. So basically, we know what we're doing. We've set it as a global product, so to create a benchmark all over the world. We build it in the factory, so plug and play, as we said. It's easy to ship, to install, and to maintain. So what we get is maximum performance with a minimum of problems. As I said before, certification in Europe, we have 3 kinds. On the left side, you see the DLG certification, which is the German certification. Goes for all these certification is that the installations are tested for over a year, with measurements being done on ammonia reduction, odor reduction, dust reduction, and just the general running of the process. So it's been over a year of testing before you get a certificate. So DLG for Germany, which is basically for our Polo air scrubbers for poultry. We have the BWL in the middle, which is the Dutch certification. We have several of these, and these are mainly for the pig air scrubbers and for the manure treatment air scrubbers. And what we have on the right side, it's more recent, is the Fara Certification, and that's a general European certification.